Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shantia. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review for Married at First Sight, episode 15, season 12. And it is quite this season. I feel like this is like the most drama that we've ever experienced. And honestly, I'm not super crazy about it. At the same time, it's still one of my favorite shows. So I'll keep watching. For today's first couple, I wanted to talk about Jacob and Haley. It just makes me laugh because I just felt like Jacob was being petty Betty. But you know, I kind of understand where he's coming from. He feels like Haley can be fake or is fake or produces a certain thing in front of cameras, and he's not about that at all. He's like, let's go in separate cars. He arrived there, he ate his 7 eggs, didn't help Haley in the kitchen. But Haley also said that she didn't think he was going to help her. I feel like Haley just likes to find reasons to be upset with Jacob. But I also feel like she's just kind of also done with Jacob as well. Now, I brought it up before that Jacob has, I think, insecurities from the past of not being picked. And that's why he defends himself so strongly in front of Haley. They're just clashing so bad. From a spiritual perspective, I think Haley needs to heal her masculine energy. This is something that every woman needs to look towards to see and recognize, am I being okay? Like, am I just like hating on men like just randomly in certain areas because I haven't healed other masculine relationships in my life? I had to do this. I had to heal my masculine energy because I had a perspective or an idea about men that in the future, if I were to be married, it would not be fair to my spouse for me to have those expectations or the stereotypes or views about men. You know, he should be allowed to just be human. So I think Haley needs to heal her masculine energy, especially when it comes to romantic partners. I feel like Haley gets very defensive because she was in a controlling relationship. But she said it herself. She's always been stubborn. She's always kind of had that personality since she was 4. And I feel like, and Jacob is probably feeling this way, she still needs to take full accountability for how she, I think especially towards romantic partners, but how she kind of becomes dismissive. Haley and Jacob were having more fun, I think, because Haley is a social girl. She likes to be around the crowd, and it makes her feel a lot more comfortable. But she does get very stiff and defensive with Jacob. I thought it was really interesting when the two of them managed to win the game of like who knows each other best, and it seems apparently, I give Haley props for this, she has been listening to Jacob. And she says, because I've had to listen to his stories. So she's been listening to him, but she just, what makes it worse is that she's been listening, but she hasn't really fully cared to acknowledge his feelings, and that's Jacob's thing. You know, yes, he's quirky, yes, he's interesting, but he's got feelings, and she hurt his feelings and has yet to take accountability for doing that, like being a part of that. She also admitted that she can't help but go tit for tat. When people come at her, she comes for them. So that just goes to show Haley's immaturity in relationships, in just kind of anything. And even Jacob was going tit for tat as well. A mature person would say, okay, well, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to react differently. Or respond differently. I'm not going to react. I'm going to respond. You know, Haley has kind of shown that she'll come for you no matter what. Even if it's in front of a crowd, she will say whatever to come back at you and to be right. So I think Jacob needs to, one, hire a romantic and relationship coach so he can learn how to maybe just romance the ladies a little bit and build up that confidence towards attracting women. And, you know, when women feel that you're confident, they're naturally attracted to you. So Jacob's attracting women, but he's not attracting women who want to stay with him forever because there may be some underlying confidence issues that they're missing. So I think if he works on that, he'll be great because he already has a list of great qualities in a husband. And then Haley, she needs to take some me time and not date and just kind of heal her masculine, heal those wounds so that she can move forward in a relationship like with a more peaceful mindset, because this combativeness just goes to show you're not ready for a relationship. Because in love and romance, you have to come with the love and the romance. You have to come with that loving, open energy, and Haley is closed. She's romantically close. She's open to friendships. She's open to getting to know people. She's not open to relationships or romantic relationships because Jacob was the romantic potential partner. Something in her just went, a switch just went, flipped and turned off for her. Hopefully she can work on that more. But yes, Jacob eating those 7 eggs in front of her, a little petty. And then Jacob packing up and leaving early, kind of petty. Jacob just up and left right at the end. Yeah, I think he's checked out. He mentioned before, like, he thought that Haley was fake, right? So on some level, you know, he's like, oh, him and Haley can get along and whatnot, but his actions speak louder than words. He's checked out. He's done. Jacob as well has issues with communication. So hopefully he can work in that as well, because communication is important in relationships, and he can communicate well. He can defend himself. There's just a few like communication cues that he's missing, it seems like. So hopefully the two of them come out of this acknowledging fully what they can improve on, and they'll do great. Next couple, Bree and Vincent. So obviously Vincent has issues with being self-conscious and stepping out of his comfort zone. You know, when he was talking about not getting on the horse, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Because I'm like, Vincent, what else? Like, what else are you uncomfortable with? And I have to like tiptoe around you. It doesn't, no one feels comfortable tiptoeing around you in a relationship. If he can fully acknowledge and understand that him being fearful of so many things is not like, there's a bigger issue behind that, then he thinks, oh, this is just not what I want to do. It's more than that, because there are a lot of things that you don't want to do because you feel a certain way. It makes you feel a certain way. And Bree Notes has noted that, and she even acknowledged, okay, like, maybe I need to do this for you. Maybe I need to approach you this way. But I think the cogs are turning in her head, because we've kind of heard her slip out a few comments, like one of them being about the one-bedroom apartment. And she said behind the scenes about wanting Vincent to have the same mindset. He may never have the same mindset. You guys are two different people with two different minds. He may never have that same mindset. Is Bree going to be okay with that? Because she's going to have to be. Because they are both very different in their thinking. And she has standards. And on top of that, Vincent gets insecure, you know, if he can't look a certain way. So, you know, I'm kind of seeing down the road, if they do not acknowledge this, if they do not deal with this, they're going to have issues. Bigger issues show up. They're going to be in disagreement with each other about a lot of other things, or a lot of things. It almost makes me question, why say I love you before being able to get over that part? To me, when you're able to get over those difficult parts, like, it's nice to feel the good feelings, but if you're able to get over those humps, that's when you know that someone loves you. And I've heard someone say this, and I truly believe it. It takes 10 years to actually develop real love, because by then you would have gone through things together. In the beginning, it's just, you know, we have love for one another. So Bree has control issues, high standard issues, and Vincent has self-conscious issues that he needs to work on, because I mean, that's tiring. It's like, it's almost like, again, he said he wanted to be treated with kid gloves. It's like, I don't want to treat you like a kid. You know, that just kind of makes me lose my attraction to you as my counterpart. So if he's able to become aware of that, like the effect that can have on a relationship, and if Bree is also able to acknowledge that she needs to compromise and watch those standards, her defensiveness about him wanting her or expecting her to move into his apartment, I understand maybe he made the assumption, maybe he feels like as a male provider, he's supposed to do that. You need to question this instead of getting defensive. I think Bree needs to question, where did that defensiveness and that protectiveness come from? Because this is someone you love, right? This is someone you trust. Why would you get so defensive and almost like want to attack, you know, even if just verbally, attack someone who cares about you? So in that sense, women can really self-sabotage their relationships if they do not realize that they have, you know, triggers. That your triggers, it's good to have triggers, you know, and see your triggers, because then you know, okay, this is my growing pain area. This is the area I need to work on for me to thrive in my relationship, for me to be a healthy person. As much as, you know, relationships are about being together, merging your life together, They're about revealing to you where your weaknesses are. And that's one of Bree's weaknesses is, she has certain expectations or standards that she's probably going to have to let go of for any relationship, not just with Vincent, any relationship. Okay, so next is Eric and Virginia. So when they were on the beach, it was really interesting. Eric kept saying, I want you to tell me this, or I want you to feel this way about me. We cannot tell people how they should feel about us because that's that's invasive. How I feel about you is how I feel about you. That's what makes this special. It's because I'm giving it to you willingly. Eric is trying to yank emotions and feelings and worthiness out of Virginia. Those are not for you to take. They're for you to earn or for her to give to you. And he keeps wanting security in the relationship. I like how he vocalizes that he needs security, but he's not providing her with the emotional security. Therefore, that is why she's hesitant. Therefore, she doesn't want to move in with him. Therefore, she's rebellious. Therefore, she wants the cats to be in the bed because her animals are like service animals. They give her emotional comfort. They're emotional security blankets. And I've seen this before with people who surround themselves with animals. They see their animals as emotional security blankets. That's why those animals are number one, because Virginia doesn't feel any emotional security. That's why she was bubbling over with emotion when her dad, decided to come to her wedding. Eric has to, again, acknowledge that Virginia has more underlying issues. That's why she can't make you number one, Eric. And that's one reason. Two, you have to earn it. So you have to give her emotional security. He keeps gaslighting her. He did not like it when she played his game and gave him the ultimatum. He was just like, I don't give ultimatums. Ooh, Eric, you're the ultimatum king. You have given endless ultimatums. So the fact that, again, he just lacks self-awareness. I don't do anything wrong. She does. Maybe I do this wrong. Maybe I do this wrong. But she does so many things wrong. But I want her to love me. It's just like, whoa, everywhere. You want her to love you, but you keep gaslighting her, telling her what she's doing wrong. Virginia's just reacting on instinct. She wants her animals. She's not going to move into his apartment because he hasn't shown her or given her any kind of emotional security that she's looking for. He's all over the place emotionally. He may have certain standards that, yes, are reasonable, and he sounds reasonable, but he doesn't act reasonable. He acts unstable. He was cursing her out in front of the people at the dinner. I was surprised. If he's gonna curse her out, like swear at her in front of everyone on camera, he most certainly is gonna do it off camera. So he has anger issues, control issues to work on. Virginia, yes, it was annoying that she wanted the cats in the bed, but for her, it's like, I need those cats or I have nothing. So that's Virginia's perspective. But I'm going to say it again, an emotionally mature person would look at Virginia and they would say, she is not ready for marriage. She's not ready for this. Or they would be very, very patient. They would concede to, her stipulations, but then offer your stipulations. Okay, we're going to find a place together. Your cats can sleep in the bed, but this is what I would like. We get to hang out and go play golf and do bowling twice a week. Like, you guys can both have what you want in the relationship. If she gets to have what she wants, okay, we'll sleep with the cats in the bed, even though I'm allergic, but I'm gonna want this. Can we agree on that? Negotiate, guys. Yes, it's a marriage, but it's a marriage contract. Negotiate. Clara and Ryan. Clara is very, open and vulnerable. She's very emotional. She's got a lot, going on under the surface. There's a lot of depth to her. People have said something about her being shallow. I don't pick up on her being shallow. What she does is, I think maybe she talks a lot to hide the depth that she actually has. Or she doesn't always want to go there. Ryan's more intellectual depth. Clara is emotional depth. But, even though her and Ryan seem to have cute letters, let's go ahead and examine the situation because there were, some issues that showed up. So earlier, when Claire showed up for the, at the vacation spot, she said that her friend said that she was losing herself. that's a sign. If someone's saying you're losing yourself, you could be changing, but you have to really examine, like, how am I changing? Am I changing to better myself, or am I changing to concede to a certain image or idea? I thought that was a big, huge clue. Because she was like, your friends aren't asking that, my friends are telling me that. It seems like Clara doesn't really, I mean, I'm probably making an assumption here, but it almost seems like when she gets in a relationship, she's the type to merge with the relationship as opposed to have her own distinct identity. You know, she's very like, she has a very strong personality and strong opinions about things, but I think there's a fear, like there's something wrong there. I think there's a fear of being alone or like being abandoned, especially in romantic relationships, and that's why she holds on to them so tightly, and she'll hold on to something that's not serving her. So in Ryan's letter, I noticed that, you know, it was cute. He was like, thank you for doing this, thank you for letting me be me, but the letter, almost the entire letter, was redirected towards himself. Thank you for liking me, accepting me, yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, what about Clara? What about her quirks, her things that make her interesting? Like, what about her? So I was kind of missing that from Ryan. Again, I don't see this deep, raw emotional connection that they have. What I think realistically where they're at, I think Ryan still feels like they're on a date. Like, this is a long date. And what was concerning is that he said, I love you at the end of the letter. You know, maybe he meant like, or he said, not I love you. He said, love Ryan. And Clara got super emotional and she said she felt validated. And behind the scenes, Ryan was like, well, I hope she's okay that I don't tell her I love you because I'm not ready yet. I was just like, that's it. That's the disconnect that's happening. Clara wants like the love so much. She's willing to accept scraps. And I'm just like, and she wants him to tell her she loves her. And I'm like, why don't you just let him show you? Wouldn't you rather the love be real than fast? Wouldn't you rather it be real and long term? Let him do the work. Let him show you and prove to you his love before he even says it. Is he doing the things that you feel like, you know, your partner, a healthy marriage partner, would do for you? That's my thing. I just worry that Clara doesn't have enough. She seems to have again, she has strong opinions about things, and I've actually agreed with her assessments about some of the couples. But when it comes to herself, I just feel like she doesn't fully know her worth. And Ryan is just, you know, he just gives us Ryan because he kept redirecting to himself in the letter. I think there's just an underlying ego to Ryan. Like, I'm just like, okay, do you see Clara? Is Clara in this situation? You know, do you deeply care for her? I hope so. And then I want to go back. That's pretty much it. But I want to go back and talk about Vincent. So Vincent didn't want to get on the horse. I celebrated when he got on the horse. I was like, oh, Vincent, you did it. And then he went back to the hotel. He's like, Bree, don't do that again. When you tell me about the things that we're going to do, you have to approach me in this way and that way and this way. And I was just like, yeah, it's kind of tiring to have to tiptoe around your spouse like that. So I just wanted to mention that. I was cheering. He did it. He got on the horse. And I think part of that was he felt very encouraged by the woman who was helping to guide them on the horse trip. And I think Bree, because of her standards and her expecting certain things, she may have to concede to being just a lot more gentle, maybe more encouraging towards Vincent than she has been in the past. So I think every couple, you know, there's a possibility for every couple to succeed. There's a possibility, but you have to be willing to do the work. Like, that's what marriage does. It's going to kick you up into gear. You know, you can't just leave. It's time to start evolving. If there's anything that I love about life, it's that I get to grow. I want to grow. So I'm like, if something changes me, good. Then that means I'm going to evolve, because I'm not going to stay the same and be rigid. I'm going to grow and see how much more depth how much more powerful I can become. So that is the opportunity for Married at First Sight that everyone can be a part of if they decide that that's what they want. Okay, so that's my review on the couples. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, if you guys are interested in more of my content, I'm going to go ahead and link down below my Pinterest, Instagram, my website. I make art. I do offer one-on-one coaching, and I do commissions for art.